This is Tanner's boa. It's a marabou fly for bass, white bass I suppose particularly, but it's just kind of a fun fly that you can tie fairly inexpensively. I'm just using some cream thread on a 6 2x long hook, and it's all made out of marabou from a cheap craft store boa. I have a clump of marabou that I've clipped off of the boa for the tail, and shank, a little longer than shank length. Wrap that in, tie it in. I'm going to come forward just a little bit, and then once I have that secure, I'm going to go ahead and trim out this big bunch of stuff up here over the hook. I could wrap it in. I guess if I cut it at an angle like that, it'll wrap in a little bit easier. And it doesn't really matter how much bulk I have on the hook because it's going to all get covered up with more boa. But I'll just wrap that down and make sure that my tail is well secured. So the body is also going to be boa, which is going to be spun into a dubbing loop. There is nothing neat about this fly. I've got marabou all over the place, but I have a bunch of marabou in the clamp, and I'll create a dubbing loop. So wind my thread around my shank and then around the end of the loop. Close it off. Bring my thread up to the front of my hook. I'm going to put my twister in my loop, but I don't want that to get all twisted up. But if I throw a half hitch, that'll hold my thread, and I can put it in the cradle, and I can split the threads in the loop, put my clamp between the threads, open the clamp, and pull it out gently, getting the thread to grab the marabou, and it didn't, so I think I can just push it in there if I open the thread back up. Get that marabou between the thread. Okay, I'm going to spread it out a little bit and then give it a twist. Alright, and I'm going to just hold that thread above the hook and rotate. Try to pull back on the marabou as I do that. Yeah, and it is just kind of a big old mess, but it'll come out in the end. Okay, get up to the eye of the hook, and then I'm going to, I just wet it, it'll help control it. Pull back so I can get another wrap or two in up here at the front. Okay, then I'll grab my thread, get my cradle out of the way, and then I'm going to wrap up over my loop, the end of the loop. Pull back up on everything. And then wrap up over that end. Not really worried so much about a head on this, but I just want to catch in the loop. And then I can cut the loop out. Put a whip finish on it. I'm going to put a couple drops of head cement on that knot. That'll soak into the end and give me a nice head. Then I can take a pick and just kind of pick it out and get everything. If there's any trapped marabou, it's okay. It'll help create the body. So that's what it looks like dry. If we wet it, and you get the nice streamer look. And this is kind of crazy using this multicolor marabou, but use whatever color marabou you want and see what happens when you fish it.